Hello and welcome to Badass Warriors Revealed. And today's Badass Warrior is somebody who I've known for quite a few years now and who just keeps kicking ass in more ways than one. It is actor and director Sebastian Roberts. Hello, Sebastian.
Hello, Ariane.
How's it going?
Going all right, thanks.
Good, good. So you've recently done Actors Boot Camp, and I saw you come through some changes and really growing confidence and everything throughout the whole process. And I thought it'd be really cool to have you on to talk about your journey. So when I first met you, it was on a film, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a zombie film.
Wasn't it? Oh, yeah, it was, yeah, the Oscar trilogy, which was actually my first film role. And it was lots of fun. And then after that, we worked on Inside Fear, and then you joined Northern Star Acting. So, yeah, so I've seen you come through this whole process, and I've seen you join Northern Star with not much confidence, and I mean your confidence just keeps improving now, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So where did it all begin for you? What made you decide to be an actor and a director? Which came first?
Well, the director came first, and because I thought about it when I was in sixth form. Because I remember when I was at high school, I was looking at, there was this like little one-off class about looking at your future careers and roles and something like that. And I remember looking up at cameraman, and I thought, it's interesting. I remember staring at it for like nearly the whole lesson and thinking about it and stuff. But it wasn't until after sixth form that I studied media production at Doncaster College. Then after that, I went to Sheffield Hallam, studied visual effects. And that's when I first got involved in the zombie film that we met on. Yeah, I've taken an interest in doing some bits of film ever since.
Awesome. And what kind of things have you found that's been difficult for you? Have you had any obstacles to overcome?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest ones was it's probably a lack of confidence is one of them, because I don't think I remember going to university was a big move for me. At least it was considered a big move. But I honestly didn't feel like I could just be able to pull through. I mean, I thought I could pull through very well.
Why do you think that was?
I think it's because I didn't think it was because I've sort of used to feel alienated from most people because of being autistic, and I didn't know what to I think it was because I kind of trying to think of the right words to describe it.
So let me just ask you about something you said there. So you've got autism. How does that affect you? How does it feel? If you were going to explain to somebody what it's like to be autistic, how would you describe it?
Well, imagine someone has a huge everyone has a satellite on their head. Right, that where we receive bits of information from each other, we give out bits of information like through talking or listening and stuff like that. switch. So it's just, and the signal is always clear. We can easily understand most of the time. But for people with autism, our satellites are a bit glitchy. So so we don't really receive everything at once, like a lot of people do. Sometimes it takes us a while to sort of like get small bits of information at a time. Like if someone's talking to us about something, or in my case, if someone's trying to explain to me how a whole process works, I can only take one piece at a time. So it takes me a lot longer to get it. It takes me a lot longer to suck it all in and actually process it, which can make learning in class a lot more. Difficult, especially when you haven't yet fully understand how stuff works and things like that. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I had a lack of confidence in uni, is because I struggled to take everything in. But when it came to actually trying things out practically, it actually got easier when I just tried things out practically rather than just reading off instructions, rather than just simply being told out loud.
So if you were in a class and you were struggling to take all the information in, what would you do about that? So you just said that you find it easier if you're doing something practically. So would you try and work out a different way of being able to absorb that information?
Yeah, I mean, I could work with instructions on how to do something, because I can just take my time going through it, and then just try, like, if I had a guide of how to do a visual effect on After Effects, I'd just read it out and just look at it and stuff, especially in pictures. If it's done in pictures, it's a lot easier when I'm shown in visual learning. That's probably where I'm strongest, in visual learning, and just copycat on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's when it comes to how it affects me is, well, it can put a lot of pressure, especially when you're expected to be able to absorb this stuff all straight away and get it all right. It's like in a lecture in class or something like that. But so yeah, it can put a lot of pressure on you to get it right, and that can really affect your confidence, like it did for me.
And how does that feel at the time, if you feel that you're struggling to take everything in and everyone seems to be getting on with it? How does that make you feel?
It gets pretty stressful. It can get pretty stressful, it can. I mean, I briefly remember a few times where I've panicked a little bit. But because I had a DSA helping me, which is like a personal assistant for people with disabilities, it can get easier. And sometimes she just going to talk to the teacher about it, and we just save some bits and pieces to do later when I've processed everything. But yeah, on your own, it can get pretty stressful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how does it affect your relationships, friendships, that sort of thing? Does it, or in social situations?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. I mean, this might just be me, but friends is something that I struggle with, because I don't really. I mean, social situations are very hard for me because I'm pretty shy. I don't really have a lot of social. I didn't really have a lot of social confidence, and Yeah, because you don't know what to say or stuff like that, or there's just so many people talking at once. You don't know who to listen to. It's even worse in a nightclub because you've got music banging in your ears and and it's impossible to hear anything.
That's true. And do you find that there's just, in situations like that there's just too much going on for you to be able to focus? Is that it or not?
Yeah, that's it. It's because it's kind of, yeah, it is because I mean, if because as to someone who doesn't have autism, they might just be all right, no problem. But, like being in a crowded place, but for people with autism, especially more severe autism, it's like having a load of people shouting in your ears all at the same time in all sorts of different languages and stuff like that.
I can imagine that would be really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something, you were just talking about group situations there, and I just wanted to say that, like, the main thing that struck me about you, and I think you know what I'm going to say, is the fact that whenever you first meet people, you hold back and you come across as being shy, but there comes this point where it's almost like a fuck it switch goes off in your head.
Yeah.
And then the personality just shines through, but it seems to take you just not that long, but just a certain amount of time to get to know, like, if it's a new group of people, to get to know everyone. And then it's like, okay, Seb is here. And you're so creative that you just come out with these hilarious and sometimes shocking things. And that's the first thing I noticed, not on Esca Trilogy, because I didn't talk too much on that, but on Inside Fear, where it was a very close group of us.
Yeah.
And I've noticed, do you think that's because of your autism?
Yeah, but also some shyness that might have unintentionally developed in my childhood as well. Because it takes me a while. It takes me a while to get used to people around me, especially people who I've already met. As with you, it's no problem because I've known you for a while. But yeah, once I start getting comfortable and stuff like that, I just decide to be brave and say the first thing on my mind.
Yes, and I actually think, you coming all the way to Portugal and doing the Actors Boot Camp was a brave move for you, wasn't it? Because you were going to be in a situation where you were going to have to live with a group of people who you didn't know. And yeah. I can imagine that was probably quite a big deal for you. And it was everyone time you'd been away on your own, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Everyone around me was like really surprised and shocked by it. And they were like, Seb, are you sure you want to do this or something like that? I mean, my dad goes on holiday all the time, but he has never gone on his own. So even for him, it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
But when I got back, he told me that everyone was impressed with me.
It shows how far you've come. And, it took you a ridiculous amount of time to get there. How long was it from when you left your house?
It was an hour to drive to Leeds Airport, 2 hours flight, and 6 hour train journey to Tomar from Faro.
But there was all the waiting around stuff. I'm sure it was more than 20, like it was all day you were travelling, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the whole day, it was.
Yeah. Cool. So how do you think your autism has affected your directing and your acting?
Well, I'm a very visual person. I'm not sure if this comes with being autistic. It might just be me, but because I used to daydream quite a lot, so I'm quite a highly visual person, which is very useful for if you're a director, because you know what kind of image and shot that you're after, right? And you know what you want in it.
That's such a director thing to do.
A lot of directors do it, yeah. And it's easy for me to piece it all together like a jigsaw puzzle. Also, as an actor, well, I can get away with as an actor, it makes it easier for me to be more verbal because everyone's expecting you to talk out loud and say random stuff and things like that. And
so do you feel that, you know, that you can more be yourself?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like being an actor is like permission just to come out with as many bizarre things as you want. It's like a license, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So tell us about what you've got coming up. You're in the middle of filming right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we've been filming since February. In fact, it's roughly been one filming day a month because of scheduling with the cast and crew. We've been filming, so we've only got this is for Vows, a short film that I've been making. And we've only got one scene left to do, and actually 2 scenes left to do, and a couple of shots for the final scene, which can just take us a whole day, and we're done. Awesome. But yeah, it's been a really long process, but I've learned a lot from it. Excellent. Because the reason why it's taken us so long is because when we first started, it was a weekend, and I thought that I knew we wouldn't get everything done back then, but I thought that if I made the dates more flexible to fit everyone's schedule, to make it easier for everyone's, because some of them are students, film students, it would help out. But I think I've now learned that in the end, it's up to them whether or not they commit. They're willing to do the dates that you set and commit.
Yeah.
It's best to have it's best to have set dates for the whole script, because then it's actually easier for the cast and crew, because it gives them, because if they've got nothing going on at that time, they don't have to could clash or not, because do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because I've noticed because we use this app called Doodle for matching everyone's schedulings, and a lot of them don't match.
Yeah, and I completely get what you're saying there. Do you know, I've done the exact same mistake, and it's just a nightmare trying to pull everybody together, isn't it? I've done the exact same thing. Yeah, awesome. And you've got another film coming up in November. Is that right?
God.
We're finally going to do it. So just for everybody watching, this is a film that Seb wrote, and he wanted it filmed. So we filmed it with the Northern Star acting students. So we did the trailer quite a few months ago, and we're finally doing the film in November, and I can't wait.
Yay.
Awesome. So that's Cured, filmed by Northern Star Acting and directed by Seb. So look out for those. Seb, how can people contact you if they want to keep up with what you're up to?
I've got a Facebook page which I've recently published, and that's one way. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at Seb Rob.
Seb Rob. Brilliant. Yeah. And what's your Facebook page?
Hang on a sec. My Facebook page is simply titled Sebastian Roberts.
Awesome. We can always add the link with the text.
Yeah, it's the picture is just in case it helps. It's just in case there's more than one Sebastian. The page is the one that's got some guy in a grey with me in a very grey background.
Cool.
The header page is also me bleeding with holding a piece of and it says actor right and director to its right.
Awesome. For anyone who is going to follow Sebastian on his journey, be prepared. His films are so dark. Okay, I've got one last question for you. Are you ready?
Fire away.
What would you say to anybody who was holding themselves back because of autism or any disability? What would you say to them?
I tell them Tim Burton has autism. Stanley Kubrick had autism. I think someone said Alfred Hitchcock did as well. So also look at me and what I'm doing. Does it look like it's holding me back?
Love it. Go, Seb. I love that. That's awesome. Seb, you've been amazing. Really good catching up with you.
You too.
I will speak to you soon.
Bye. Bye-bye.